Alright, so evidently another range day for me to come out and play a little bit. And on the way here I was thinking about the concept of everyday carry. I've written a couple articles about it on my blog, but I thought maybe a show and tell might make a little more sense than just words on paper with photographs. There's a couple steps you need to take before you get to the point of everyday carry though. The first, of course, is an appropriate amount of training so you're comfortable with your firearm. The phrase is you can run your gun. Through malfunctions, you can withdraw it easily from your concealed place on your body. You can pay attention to your surroundings. You've filled all the squares to get yourself to the point where you're competent to actually carry a firearm. What I usually tell my new carry students is what I want you to do when you get your carry permit is carry your gun. It doesn't do any good in a safe. It doesn't do any good in a little box next to your bed at night when the gun is still in the box and you're driving to the grocery store or driving to work. It doesn't do you any good there. So the next step in that is a movement in your mindset to the point where it's defensive carry. You're carrying a defensive firearm to defend yourself, your family, or anyone else around you that is in your charge, or a friend that might need help. That's a big change from the idea of, I think I'll grab my range bag, a couple boxes of ammo, and go to the range and make some holes on paper. This assumes that you've done all of that you're at that point and you're carrying gear. I'm also a camper, and I'm a paddler, canoe paddler, and firearms dials right into the idea of lots of gear you can buy. And trust me, there's a ton of it out there. Different holsters, and I got a box of them. Different mag holders, got a smaller box of those. Belts, all sorts of things. Finally, you find something that fits you. And the idea behind fitting you is that if it's bulky, if it's too heavy, if it's uncomfortable, you're simply not going to carry the gun. You're not. No matter how much you tell yourself, golly, I should really put that thing on today, you're not going to do it. I've adopted what's commonly known as the pogo method. Pants on, gun on, pants off, gun off. So in the morning as I dress and I put my pants on, tuck my t-shirt in, put my belt around, I grab my firearm, which is still in the holster. The only time I take my firearm out of the holster is here at the range, or when I've unloaded it, or when I take it out to unload it to clean it. Other than that, it's in the holster. I do have a little safe next to my bed. I've got two other firearms in there that you could call carry firearms, a Glock 19 and a Ruger LC9S. They are also in holsters. They're loaded, they're ready to go if I need them, but I never take them out of the holster. All right, so pants on, put my pants on, put the holster on. When I get ready to go to bed at night, before I take my pants off, I take my holster off and I pre-position my firearm where I want it at night. That's where I want people to head. I don't want them to turn the carry permit, or whatever your state calls it. Iowa's is really weird. Non-professional permit to carry a firearm or something like that. It's weird. It's a carry permit. That's not a talisman. Just because you bought a gun, you've gone to the range, shot a couple boxes of ammo, you've taken a class or two, and now you've got a gun in the house, that doesn't magically protect you against all the folks out there that may want to do you bodily harm. It just won't. So we're past all of that. You've done the training, you've made the commitment, you're carrying, you're settling in on what works for you. You dial into something that's called an everyday carry system, whatever that is, what you put on your body in the morning when you get up to go out the door. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Mine's maybe a little broader because I incorporate some stuff from backpacking and paddling, but it's still part of my everyday carry. So I'm going to start kind of from there and work my way up. First thing I carry is a watch, okay? It's not usually just a watch. Up until this, I had a Casio 2000. It has a barometer, a compass, and of course, a watch on it. If you're in the middle of nowhere and you want to find out where you are, if you're paddling down a river, paddling down a stream, walking a trail, looking at a landmark, wondering what direction that is, a watch with a compass is a pretty darn handy thing. I've upgraded to the Garmin Fenix 5, which is it's a pretty big chunk of gear, but it works really well for that. So I start out with a watch. Of course, the next thing is I always have a wallet in my pocket, okay? So the wallet has a bunch of things in it, you know, credit cards, identification, your carry permit should be in here. All the things you need to kind of get through the day, your driver's license, money, credit cards, all of that. So a wallet. The other thing that goes in the same pocket for me is a flashlight. This happens to be a Surefire. I've had a number of Surefires. I like them. I change the batteries out on these things when in the fall, okay? When I check the batteries in the smoke detectors. I'll usually let them go for a whole year because I don't turn that on a whole lot. If I notice that I've been using it more, I may slip another battery in it or an updated set of batteries, but I always have a flashlight. Next is a pocket knife, but it's a little different system. This is an old pouch from a Leatherman. The pocket knife, quote unquote, the workhorse that I carry is a Leatherman juicer. I really like these. I've had this particular one for probably, oh golly, 15 years, something like that. I like that a lot. I carry a fire starter, all right, the steel and flint kind, where you flip that across that and it'll throw a spark. Again, this doubles for some of the stuff I carry on a pack trip, and I always have this. I also have a little lighter, all right. I have a rule when I go out in the boonies that you need to have 3 ways to start a fire. So I got a lighter, I got a striker, and inside my wallet I got a little Fresnel lens, Fresnel, however the heck you say it, that I can use on a sunny day like today, thank you, to start a fire. So those always go with me. I carry a defensive knife, okay? This is a Blade Tech. I picked this up about a year ago after I actually lost the one I had before that, which was a knife that I don't remember the name. Anyway, this is a defensive knife, not a letter opener, not a box opener, not to cut rope. It's a defensive knife. Depending on the pants I wear, it's always in the right hand pocket, or some of them have an external pouch. TAC 911 or 511 pants have a pouch specifically for knives. The other piece, of course, is a firearm, all right? I carry a Glock 17. I have upgraded parts of it. I put the claw from Rob Pincus's group, the claw rear sight, because it makes one-handed manipulation much easier. And then I got a Trichicon green dot on the front. That's the only modification I've made on the firearm. Other than that, it's an out-of-the-box stock Glock. One thing that's, honestly, it's an old habit for me. You can either do it or not. I always download magazines by 2, with the exception of 7-round magazines. I'm, of course, going to max those out. But a 17-round magazine, I'll download to 2. 30-round magazine for my carbine, I'll download to 28. 20-round magazine, I download to 18. That's an old habit from way back when the M16 that I was issued had an issue where if you top off a 20-round magazine, jam that sucker in, every once in a while the spring was so tight against the bottom of the bolt group that it wouldn't cycle properly. I'm sure they've long since fixed that. Old habits, so there you are. And the last thing, of course, is a spare magazine. Again, same idea, 17-round magazine, downloaded it to 15. Why do you carry a spare mag? Heck, you got 15 rounds in here. Well, that's true. Honestly, if you get into a situation where you've gone through 15 rounds, you have a heck of a lot more problems than a second mag. Second mag may help, but you got other things going on. Honestly, I carry it more for malfunction. For some reason the magazine fails to feed, I drop it. I'm running somewhere, doing something stupid. Um, Literally, you could be in such a rush that you grip the gun funny and you drop the magazine while you're running down the road or running around the room or whatever. A backup magazine in my mind is just a must. For mag carriers, this happens to be one made by Blade Tech as well. I really like it. It's probably the best one I've found. It snaps around the belt so you can take it off and move it around, and it works well for me. So just to wrap up, the trick with everyday carry is it's everyday carry that you can legally, obviously. There may be some places, for example, your workplace, if your workplace doesn't allow you to carry your firearm into the building, or perhaps maybe not even onto the property. Follow the law, leave your firearm home, but when you get home, put it on. I also don't take the firearm off until I go to bed. When I walk through the house and I hang my ball cap up on the back of my office door, the firearm stays on my hip until we get to the point where I'm ready to pack it in for the night and I'm getting undressed and I take my pants off and I'll take the gun off. If you think at any time that, golly, how far away is my gun if something would go down? You're in a rob and go and somebody hinky walks through the door and you think in the back of your mind, hey, my gun's at home. If this doesn't go right, stop that. All right, stop that. Get the training you need. Go to the range. My usual recommendation to students, 100 rounds a month minimum to maintain some level of proficiency. Do your dry fire. Draw from your concealed spot on your body and engage a whatever. You can put a laser light round in it. You can get a SIRT pistol for either an M&P or a Glock. But do the work, okay? Do the work. Again, the carry permit is simply not a talisman. It's your permit to carry a defensive firearm to defend yourself and your family. If you don't have it, if you don't know how to use it, if you can't run it, if you can't hit what you're aiming for, all of this is meaningless. Anyway, I'm gonna put a couple boxes of rounds downrange myself and see how the day goes. This is Bill. I'm with Eastern Iowa Firearms Training in Iowa. If you're in Iowa and you want some help, give me a call. Thanks very much and you have a good day.